Okay, so welcome Dr. Geeta on this show. So I am being conducting this show daily to talk to many people, understand in this difficult time, how are we responding to this time. Today, very nice to have you on this show to know how the impact of COVID from different perspectives. So viewers, let me introduce Dr. Geeta over here. She's a very young, talented doctor, at the same time an art of living teacher. She is an Ayurvedic behavioral psychologist, and she has done a lot of programs for trauma relief and de-addiction management for the people. And she loves to, meet with people and help them come out of some trauma, some addiction, so that they can lead a happy, healthy, and peaceful life. So Dr. Geeta, welcome on this show. Thank you for having
Thank
you.
you so much.
Good. So we are in this very difficult time, doctor, and specifically this time which is going on. We thought that in India the COVID has subsided down, but since last few days after lockdown has been lifted, it has actually erupted. Asymptomatic
Yes.
cases are on tremendous rise, and if you see people talking on WhatsApp groups or chats or other things, they are very scared, and and people really don't know how to do, and WhatsApps are flooded with the message, you do this, you do that, and nothing has an empirical background or any observation background. It's just emotional pulse which comes out, people put on WhatsApp message, and it has no actual validity of, right? So my first question to ask you, that in this period of time when people are really anxious, little scared, and they're very curious, right? And probably yet they are not yet told how really they can manage this time well, and they can keep themselves healthy and safe. Yeah. So in the event that they don't know how to manage this time, these health issues, and keep themselves healthy, and they succumb to the different kinds of news and different kinds of situation in and out around them, what kinds of symptoms you see people will show, so that their family members or their friends and their one can say that this person seems to be a little stressed out or depressed, something like that. What kind of symptoms they are likely to show?
See, generally, it is. See, I being an Ayurvedic psychiatrist, when you told that yes, there are a lot of messages coming on, and in terms of like herbal medicines, there are many new things that are just going on in a WhatsApp, and there is no validation of anything has been as of. But yet, people have been trying things. See, the major thing, what an anxiety has been created is one is they have pulled within. Uh, they don't have external access, or the communication with the people has been reduced. See, basically when we communicate with someone, that is when our emotions also come out.
Right.
And with this online, I think even we have a barrier where we could not have a direct connection, and we were having this online session. uh, One, there is a communication barrier. The other is, yes, there's a lot of finance issues too. There's a lot of personal issues, because once the people are together, they have a lot of different opinions, different thoughts within the house. And in fact, in this past 3 months of lockdown, we have seen many conflicts, especially between the husband and wife. This has been going on. Generally what happens is, one is getting more of insecurity in sense, it can be anything. Insecurity in terms of money, insecurity in terms of health, because anywhere you go out, you just see that the person is just coughing somewhere, you get scared. Oh, I hope he's not suffering from so and so. It's very natural human tendency to have that awareness. And initially the lockdown has really helped, because this has created a awareness in many of the people. Because if lockdown would have not been, that awareness would have not been in every common person to how to protect himself or how to do things. Those things are there. The alarming signs majorly is something which is hampering his routines. Any psychological issues or anything, like it may be an anxiety, it may be a depression, or it may be going into an addiction. All these parts are basically, first is it will hamper their routine. Like they're not able to sleep properly, they're not able to have timely food. because once they are within 24 hours inside the house, they don't follow the routine, they don't get up on time, they keep on sitting in front of the cell phone, listening to videos or listening to chats. And many people these days are anxious just because of seeing news, because they see news, oh, per day the 10,000 cases has been
Correct.
increased, and just lot of panicity in them. So all these things are there. And other than that, if they are not sleeping properly, see, any normal human being, if he's not sleeping continuously for 3-4 days, by fifth day he will start hallucinating. That is very natural. And if at all he's not sleeping for a continuous days, the people land up into a different types of addiction too with that part. Nowadays too, people with a mobile, they are so much dependent into it that for every now and then, see, even to, for example, even to search a spelling of certain things, even like if I ask a spelling of dictionary, they immediately open the mobile and they search, oh yeah, this is the right one. We have
Correct.
become so much dependent into these things that it has become very tough for a common man. And basically those should be alarming symptoms. One is feeling insecurity, other is hampering their routine, the other is they're not able to concentrate, or they're not able to be centered, they're not able to perform what has actually been given task to them, they're not able to maintain their personal relationship. All these things will be the major things. Other than that, they'll be losing health just because they're not having food properly. And see, according to Ayurveda, like basically food, sleep, and following the proper routine is the basic three pillars, which is called to be as brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is not just maintaining the abstinence, but in fact it is how disciplined you are in your life. These major three pillars itself is hampered, it is very tough for a human to lead a happy life.
Correct. And this is so nice put forward by you. Actually, everyone want to be peaceful, happy, energetic, and dynamic. But we
Yes,
are not knowing how to handle our surroundings well, isn't it?
yes, true.
So this further leads to the stress, and not just like when a person is happy in the family, the happiness spreads to whole family. And when the person similar when the person is stressed out, the stress spreads to the whole family. So not just one person, but the whole family gets impacted. And since we are connected remotely, your other family members which are remote to you also are quite a lot affected. So I would like to ask second question to you, doctor, that when the people go into such depression or they show signs of aggression, yeah, how it affects their productivity at work, how it affects the relationship at home, and then what kinds of dance and trauma starts happening in the family.
See, usually, what do you mean by being anxious? Like, or what do you mean by going to a depression? See, anxious is something you're very much worried of something uncertain happening, or either you're not able to concentrate, or either you're not able to take decisions in your life. And depression is something, see, these days the word depression has been very much used under a huge different umbrella. See, depression is a disease, but feeling sadness, feeling lonely is something little different than that. Because feeling sad is just an emotion. Anyone naturally can feel sad. It is very natural. But if this is persistent, wherein an individual is feeling completely hopeless, or individual is feeling completely worthless, or he's feeling that no, he's not fit for this living this life, that is when an individual is called to be as a depression. What we can say is something having more of stress, something more of having an emotional turmoil. This would be a better terminology to tell. And the people who are into anxious, who are into this stress, who are into this emotional turmoil, obviously they cannot focus into basic things, like they're not able to focus on their work, they are not able to enjoy their life as they want. Like for example, if at all they have a heavy work stress from the office, and they have been given some task they are unable to do, they have a fear of losing job, and this will again curtail more into getting into the anxiety. And with this what happens, everything surrounding is being now, like economy is going down, so the other way, everything basic necessities, the cost rise is being increased, so everyone is trying to meet those basic needs. So it is now the basic need to get itself has become the major problem. So if
Correct.
these things itself they could not fill, very natural an individual goes into an anxious and depression. And basically this stress is it's obvious to hamper an individual life is because he cannot enjoy whatever the pleasurable things is there in the surrounding. That is a major. He cannot enjoy with his child. He cannot enjoy with his spouse. He's continuously into ghost in his own thoughts. And many people these days have encountered with the symptoms of depression. They just need someone to listen, someone to counsel them, or someone to hear them, so that they would feel, they would put their emotions out.
Very nicely said.
That I would say.
So, doctor,
Yeah.
this kind of stress which people develop, obviously, stress needs a way to vent it out. They need a way to vent it out. So, what kind of different addictions they are likely to go inside?
See, basically coming to the addiction, see there are two types of addiction. So one is called a soft addiction, and the other is a hard addiction. The soft addiction is something what many people are doing in this lockdown. That is basically spending more time in front of laptop or spending more time in front of mobile. It's like spending more than 8 to 10 hours in a day. There are people who just play an online games continuously for more than 6 to 8 hours. There are people who play online games who just have a lot of exchange of money, and they just spend more of time in the these online issues, in the online problems. And it is a situation comes that even if a moment we remove those online gadgets from there, they become anxious, they become very depressive. These all comes under the soft addiction. And also in fact, at this juncture I want to say, my experience of, I had a patient who used to search for a astrology columns. He used to just see that, oh, today my good day is good, let me go and invest money somewhere, and let me do this gambling, or let me, even though he knows that he had his past experience where he has lost a lot of money, yet he goes and invests. So all these comes under the umbrella of soft addictions. The other comes with the hard addictions are basically the smoking, nicotine, then alcohol, ganja. There are the n number of drugs. There are prescription medicines like painkiller medicines. Some even are dependent on sleeping medicines. These
Correct.
days, because of this lockdown, they are not able to sleep properly. So just somewhere they go, they take with the doctor some sleeping medicines, and they feel that yes, I'm feeling good with that, and they get dependent even on that too. So many, all this comes under the hard addictions.
So nicely put by the doctor, right? If you ask any person what addiction is, typically the answer normally comes as a hard addiction. We have never thought of there's something called as a soft addiction also, right? Which takes away a lot of our focus and a lot of our energy of our life, which otherwise would have invested in doing good things, right? So, doctor, one part that what we have seen at the end of lockdown, people queuing outside the wine shops and beer shops, and I mean, surprising part is that no social distancing was maintained. People were ready to give their lives just for some sips, some taste of booze. It was very surprising. So, and there are some set of people in many WhatsApp groups that are talking how alcohol is lifting the economy of this country, and we are the economy lifters. So many there are phrases different have been floating around in the WhatsApp group. Now, do you really think that alcohol is, for example, alcohol is boosting the economy of this nation, or what it is doing? Very funny question to
Okay.
ask you here.
No, first, see, the first question what you asked me is people are standing in line without maintaining the social distancing, without being aware of the health. See, basically, when person is into an addiction, he knows that this is gonna harm me. Even then, he is going, he's seeking things, he's seeking those addictive materials. Means there is certain problem within him, there is certain behavioral issues in him, or there is to a stage where he has reached to that stage of craving that without that he cannot survive. He has that mental makeup that yes, I need this at this time. That is why he's not worried at all about what other disease or whatever else is happening. He
Oh
has
God.
that state of mind. It is very easy for an individual to have an escape hole. Like, it is very easy to tell, oh, I'm drinking, I'm doing good because I'm increasing the economy of a nation country. Maybe momentarily things may add up, but it's like you wear a mask of tiger, you say I'm a tiger. That cannot happen. It
Correct.
cannot increase the economy. It can be only a momentary, yes. Like how the alcohol and all these addictive materials gives a momentary pleasure, a similar way even these things will be just a momentary.
Yeah, and these people really do not also go one step ahead and ask them a question that if I get a kick, then I mean, some people are just drinking or smoking, they want to have a kick, but that kick lasts just 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yes.
I mean, how come we don't even imagine ourselves and ask the question how to get a kick for the whole life? Isn't it? If you at all want to have a kick for the whole life. So, what kind
Yes.
of techniques you can suggest that they can get a kick for the whole life?
Okay. No, before going into this, what I would say is, see, what happens, an individual, whenever he's taking a first sip of alcohol, or any individual who takes this addictive materials or smoking or anything, it so happens that that pleasurable effect what he gets at the first time, it becomes a strong memory in him.
Hmm.
And whenever he gets stressors in his life, or whenever he has any painful situation in his life, he gets just immediately his memory get activated thinking, oh, probably this would be a best thing for me to come out of my stress. So what I would say is, all the people who are into this verge of addiction, or who are someone who is just smoking 2 or 3 cigarettes in a day, or someone who is just taking alcohol just to boost their stress, I think for them there are very beautiful techniques for them which they can come out of all this. Why is I'm telling this is because people here, they are just using these addictive materials to just either mask their emotions, or either feel just for a momentary feel good, or either they want to just forget the situation. See, usually these days these youngsters and all who and all are there, they are going into addiction just because the reason they are very curious, or they have just thought that if at all I smoke, I'll be able to be awake whole night and I can study everything. I can just next day I can just go and write and finish it off. These are the ways how, and adults usually just go into just because either they have undergone some surgeries, or they have undergone some painful situation. They just want to forget this. That is the reason they go into these addiction. The people who are into these areas, like the people who have just gone into just because of these reasons, especially for these people, there are very, very good techniques. Especially I myself being into an art of living and being an art of living teacher, and moreover I have been working into this de-addiction centers. I have seen people been recovering very well with that of the Sudarshan Kriya and meditation. Because see, what happens in addiction, basically what happens, you are seeing everything outside. You have that seeking behavior, you're seeking for pleasure, you're seeking something outside to calm yourself inside. Where is the problem is within. But what is happening in Kriya and meditation is you're completely going within. You're completely seeing your own self. At the moment, if you make this process an habitual process in your life, you're able to observe your thoughts. See, basically, addiction is basically a cognitive problem. In addiction, what happens, or person who is into this stress, or person who is at a verge of addiction, I'm not telling just the core addictive peoples, because core addictive peoples may be just 20%. The other 80% of the people, they are more stressed, they are more worried about their future, they are more anxious, they are more problematic with that of their finance, or maybe some other issues. Something of these kind of people, what they can do is they can follow these techniques what has been told in art of living, of that of Kriya and meditation. Why I'm just focusing this group of people is just because they can lead their life easily without being going into the core addiction. One is they will be helped out coming out of this. They will not go into that range of addiction. The other is they will be able to manage their day-to-day stressors or day-to-day problems very easily. And
So, man,
even in terms of core addictive peoples, I have seen a very good effect in that of their rehabilitation. Why is because when a person is doing this Sudarshan Kriya, and when they are following a proper meditation, they are able to observe their thoughts. Once you observe their thoughts, you become aware that somewhere, where is that I'm going wrong? Because thoughts are not under our control, and an individual gets 70,000 thoughts in a day, and we can't control that. The moment you, yes, an individual gets 70,000 thoughts in a day. And if at all you just get aware, no, it is not, I'm not doing it intentionally, or these thoughts are not happening just like that. Once you become aware, you'll be able to address those thoughts very easily. And the other is when you are into these techniques, you are able to balance your emotions very well. It's like you're able to handle your anger. It's like you can go from the aggressiveness to that to assertiveness. You can go from passivity to that of the peacefulness. To that range, you can handle your emotions. And the other is, one is, yes, the relapse prevention also, it helps a lot. See, because once a person has undertaken the de-addiction treatment, he has come out, the major portion of the treatment part where we focus is a relapse prevention, because once a patient has become addicted, once he comes out, there is every chances that he is relapse. So in terms of relapse recovery too, why is because when a person is doing these techniques, he gains insights within himself. He gains insight about his physical and mental well-being. And the basic term what we look into the relapse prevention is you need to understand your own alarming signs. Because just before the onset of your drinking, you'll have a lot of alarming signs within. And the moment you do this technique properly, you're able to identify this alarming signs, and you can follow certain tools and techniques with which you can come out. And over that, Sudarshan Kriya is known to be a very good stress booster. There are n number of people has been released. Even there is a study has been done in demands and in depression, in addiction, where it has been very effective. So I guess this would be a very good technique wherein every individual can take, not just with the terms of people into addiction. Just because I was much into an addiction treatment, and I've seen people have been recovered, I just quoted that. But other than this, in my day-to-day practice, I've even seen, I basically, for my every patient I do suggest that you go do this process. It's just because you're able to handle your mind in a much better way. And over that, this increases your immunity, this increases your memory power, this increases concentration, this increases your cognitive ability. So I would really prefer and every individual to go out, know about this, do this process.
So thank you very much, doctor. So viewers, you have seen that there are such a beautiful, multifaceted way Dr. Geeta has put up this point. And let me little summarize this. We typically, as an addiction, we have a label as something. If you are smoking, if you are drinking, or if you are taking drugs, that's addiction. No. So this is time to introspect yourself, go within. Am I spending too much time on social media? I'm a lot of anxious. Is my food habits disturbed? Are my sleeping habits disturbed? These are all these situations we are quite anxious and something is burning inside you. And a human tendency is very natural. Everyone wants to be happy. Everyone wants to be dynamic. Everyone wants to be energetic, take responsibilities, and have success in life. Now, these are the very factors of the mind which will limit you, right? I remember the ace tennis player from the Czech Republic. Her name was Martina Navratilova. She's quite old-time player. She said one sentence very beautifully. You know what she said? She said, "Performance is equal to potential minus internal interference." So this internal interference, because of your situation here around you, is causing uh, a reduction to your own performance. And then this results into stresses, anxieties, depression, anger, a lot of quarrel in the family, or unnecessary venting it out on the WhatsApp group. The negativities are all indications that the situations have affected you. But we have a really amazing tool from the art of living, the Sudarshan Kriya, also the meditations available, which can take your stress and stress out of you in no moment. It's a beautiful program which is being conducted. They are online happening. I would really tell you that go to artofliving.org, find out your near, find out uh, the program which suits your dates. They are typically morning and evening, just 2 hours a day, and be fresh, be happy, be energetic, be dynamic, be responsible. That is all what you want. One of the thing which I see in this case is that people say, I know how to handle myself. This I know how to handle myself, it itself becomes a hindrance between how to handle yourself, because you are limited the options around you. I would really suggest this is the right time. Have you listened to the nature, what the nature is saying you? The nature is indicating you go within, dear. There is something very special inside you which you can tap, come out of it, and make yourself happy. To end this, I will just say you look, you have a professional life, you have a social life, you have a personal life, you have a family life. If you are stressed, don't you affect all these four formats of your life? You will affect it negatively, yes or no? But at the same time, if you are happy and creative and dynamic, you will affect all these four aspects of your life positively, isn't it? It is so simple that how can I keep myself happy, enthusiastic, energetic, dynamic, and then attend to the all different facets of my life. So thank you, Dr. Geeta. It was pleasure having you on this talk. And viewers, hope you are enjoyed to us. Now you realize why she is a leading practitioner and very well acclaimed doctor in her own field. And you can search her on LinkedIn. You can search her maybe in Google. You can also find her if you require. She is practicing with the Sri Sri Ayurveda Hospital. There also you can find her name if you want to consult with her. First step, what you can do as what she has recommended is do the art of living, online breath and meditation workshop. Get rid of your stresses, anxieties, and habits and patterns. One life which you have, lead it amazingly. So thank you, doctor. Thank you having me on this
Thank
time,
you so much.
and see you
It's
soon.
my pleasure to be here.
So thank you then. Bye.